Spinning.
Oh, we're live! Hey! We got Steve here! Look who we got here! Hey! Wait for those people to come in.
There are people watching?
No, nobody's watching yet. How can all your fans be following you all over the place, Steve?
Where's this being broadcast? Because I can't see it on your page.
It's on Facebook, it's on my profile page, and it's on YouTube. YouTube, yep.
Well, I can't see it being broadcast on your profile page. I'm looking for it, and there's nothing there but a Superman cartoon of his dad getting rid of him.
Let's see. I got it. Let me see. Do I have it? Yep.
Oh, there it is.
It's there.
I'm just going to copy this link.
Yeah. Oh, we got one person watching. I don't know who it is. Somebody's spying on us.
Okay, that was just me. We're just.
Oh, that was just you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was watching us, so I mean, like, is that creepy or what?
I know it is very creepy. Hey, Steve, what was the reason you got into getting into cosplay?
I don't do cosplay.
Oh, right. What is it called?
Oh no, just a whack job.
Is it?
I don't know. I thought
you just want to rule the world, don't you?
Pretty well, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought cosplay was where real villains, hang out, right? So I got there looking to recruit people, and apparently they turned out to be cosplayers. I didn't know what that was. I mean, I thought Darth Vader, hell, fuck, me and him take over the world. No. Sorry, I forget. I don't know. I just went in as Dr. Evil. People seemed to laugh, so I just went around. My main goal was to find work in media because I went out interviewing people, but I thought I'd put a little spin on it, doing it as Dr. Evil, thinking that would be funny while interviewing people. Great editing on it, and met a lot of people. Just had the balls, walked up to them, asked them. It was really good. But then, I don't think people in the media really seem to care. It's like who you know or whatnot. But my character seemed to take off, so I just kind of went in that direction.
Yeah, because I think the first time I met you was in Guelph for that Santa Claus parade.
Oh wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
that was really cool. We had they had a few cosplayers dressed as Canadian superheroes, and invited a relative, an alleged relative of Nelvana of the North, to come in and don the costume. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and they actually had a float or something that year, like on wheels.
They did, with Wolverine, Nelvana, Captain Canuck, a bunch of the Canadian icons. Even someone dressed as Superman, because one of the creators was originally born in Canada, and then he just took off down south. But we don't care about all that. We just care where he was born, and we'll take credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good, and I had to walk, sadly, but it was what it was. It was fun. Yeah. And then we got to go back to the comic store. What's the Golden Dragon or the?
No, it was. Was it? I know it's the Dragon. I think they just call it the Dragon.
The Dragon comic shop in Guelph, and they had like hot chocolate. They had a bunch of the artists that did Canadian books, and they were all hanging out there, and it was like a fantastic time. I'm glad I was part of that. I was kind of hoping that they would do more, but
Was that open to the public? Because I just came down and took the pictures of the parade, and because I heard about the Canadian float going around, and I'm like going, I didn't know there was a party afterwards, but was it public or was it just for you guys only?
No, it was public also, because people could go into the store and they could sell things, so it's a win-win for everybody, right? We were there in costume, so people want to come buy a few things, or just around and take pictures of us. So it was like a nice little Canada or Christmas thank you to a lot of people.
Right.
Win-win. It was definitely a smart move.
Yeah, it was.
Back when cosplay was fun.
I wish they did that again, but they haven't done that after that. So, the Dragon.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of looking forward to it again, because that was a good time. She did a great job with it. Way to go.
Yeah.
That was one of the highlights of Dragon, and the lady in charge, she was just fantastic to me.
Well, we definitely won't get one this year for any kind of parade.
Yeah. Oh no, we just wear masks, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll all be up in scarves and everything because when you were up last time, it was freezing cold.
I know. Geez, every time around this place, it's like totally cold.
I know what's going on.
This last winter was quite mild, which was really good. It was
Yeah.
the first time at Kitchener New Year's thing that I didn't freeze my butt off, and I went as Barney Rubble because they had a prehistoric exhibit.
Yeah, right. I heard you were around dressed up like that. It's usually too late for me to go out because I go to bed early.
Past your bedtime, even on New
Yes,
Year's
past
Eve.
my bedtime. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I get up at 2 in the morning.
All right. Well, you just don't go to sleep then.
Yeah.
Just get a whole shitload of coffee and you just go at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
New Year's Day, you had to get up and go to work.
No, didn't have to go to work. No.
But they every year they have a Comic Con or like a toy show over at Kitchener City Hall, run by Steve Buckley from the Burlington Toy Con, and he hooks up with the city and they supply a lot of the money. Like they brought in the dinosaurs, they brought in the Fred Flintstone car, and he kind of like just brought in the vendors and some of us cosplayers to come in to fill everything out. He's been doing that for the last 5 years, and this was the first year which I didn't freeze my buns off because it's Barney Rubble, you don't wear pants. So I was kind of going out there going, yeah, I'm not freezing. This is great. It was really cool. I had a great time.
Yeah, it probably helped with the voice too, right?
Definitely. I had a good time doing Barney. Yeah. Oh, William, it would have been fun if you were there. We had dinosaurs and everything.
I would have been there. I could have gotten some good pictures.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, Steve, are you a big comic book collector also?
I used to be. Right now, I try and collect Canadian content, done by local Canadians and superheroes. That's my big thing as a kid. And when I first heard Captain Canuck and Alpha Flight, oh my God, Canada's got superheroes! Yay! So now I try and support mostly Canadian local stuff. And when it comes to DC, I think the stories are now being recirculated, right? I mean, how many battles can they have with Darkseid, with the whole Justice League or the Injustice Society? Yeah. So it's being redone every generation for new comic book fans. And a lot of us old ones is like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Okay, it's cool. We've seen it again.
Yeah.
And they said the 50th universe, and
yeah,
glad that's over with.
Well, there's always crisis too. There's always a crisis. Every year or every couple of years, they have a crisis on Infinite Earths, where they destroy the multiverse again, and then it starts all over.
Well, yeah, the crisis back in sometime in the 80s, it was great. I read that as a kid. It was the most fantastic thing ever. And then they came back with a new crisis, and they did a pretty good job with it. They turning Superboy Prime into the main villain, and that ended in the Legion of Superheroes crisis special, where they finally deal with him at the end. So it was a good wrap-up story. It really went well. Let's just hope they leave it the way it is and just whatever.
Yeah, and not do it again. Now you got Flashpoint now, because Flash keeps going back in time and changing history.
Yeah, I think Barry's the problem that all this stuff's happening in 20. Keeps trying to fix stuff, but
look at the TV show. Have you ever watched any of the CW stuff?
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite stuff on there?
Not anymore.
Arrow used to be good. Arrow used to be a good show.
It was decent. This last season of Arrow before he retired was one of the best. I liked every episode, except for Green Arrow and the Grannies. That pilot that they showed.
Yeah.
Well, because we were wondering, it's like, okay, she's in the year 2020 or 2034 or 2046. Now, if the two actresses that play Black Canary go into the future, they'd be like with walkers, right? So they call it Green Arrow and the Grannies. It's like, okay, that's right. Now you just go out there and you shoot that bow. Hey, hold on. What? I'm gonna take her with my broom.
Yeah. Well, isn't that supposed to be the new Green Arrow anyway, coming up anyway? But I think they got transported or something because of what Oliver did, because he became the Spectre at the end of Crisis. I'm like, that's stupid.
with their limited budget and not being able to afford real actors, they had to
Yeah,
go with what they did. If it was drawn like a comic book, they could have used every character available. But
yeah,
because of what they had, we've got to understand it. They got to work with it. I wasn't thrilled with Batwoman being a paragon of anything because in
yeah.
Crisis, Batwoman, that was the only time she was freaking awesome during the crossovers where we just saw her kicking ass. But in her show, I wasn't
Oh, that
impressed with
sucked.
acting or the directing or anything. It's like
I
you directors, dude. It's like you guys are working like you're working on stupid school project. This is for public television, you know. When these guys are caught in a situation where they're surrounded by cops, there's one thing that really bugged me. It's this. They asked this one cop to show up, right? And this machine gun was set up. As soon as they opened the door, it shot him, right? And outside there's tons of cops. And of course, Kathy Kane comes in and saves her lover or whatever. And they realize it was an ambush, and they fight, and then they escape. How? That building is surrounded by cops. And once their guy got killed by that machine gun, shouldn't they have all come in blasting? Nope. We're just going to leave out the back way, and there's no explanation to it. It's like, okay.
yeah.
Or Alice freaking showing up from building to building, like, like, la, la, like I got a, little transporter. Here I am, here I am, here I am. Besides, she's one of the best actors on the whole series. I mean, her acting is fantastic. I wish they didn't screw it up with bad story writing.
Yeah. Well, I only watched one episode of Batwoman, and I said, I can't watch any more of this. And there's a guy on YouTube I watch called John Talks, and he talked about the show and how much he hated it and how much. And I said, well, that's good enough. I can get the description from him of the show, so I don't have to watch it and bear through and being in pain by watching this show.
I'm kind of the optimist. I was always hoping that they would get better writing and things would pick up. Like, okay, the first season was kind of bad. All right, let's make the second season better. That's the way I am. Or
Yeah.
Star Wars with Rose Tico when they introduced her. She was an annoying person. I disliked her because I know a lot of people like that in real life. So in the next movie, I was hoping that they'd give her a better role and improve her. Instead, everyone's going, get rid of her. Oh, we hated her. It's like, no, man. You got to move on. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, but now they got a new Batwoman coming on. It's not actual Batwoman. It's supposed to be a brand new character that they're creating. So whatever they do with that, it's their character.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
I was
they do
gonna
it
say
better.
to see what happens. But it really hurts to watch every episode. It's kind of like you watch it to see how bad it can get. It's like that accident that you're watching. It's like, oh man, this car wreck's getting worse.
Yeah.
Almost
The
like
only
people
one.
that hate. Sorry.
The only ones I really like are Stargirl lately. I don't know if you've seen that.
Stargirl. Fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Black Lightning.
Black Lightning, I like. The last season was really good. The second season finale sucked because they built up with the Masters of Disasters, and you're expecting freaking awesomeness. It's like, that's it? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The last season was really good. I really enjoyed that. Stargirl, the fight scenes are fantastic, but
They got a little bit more money for that too. I heard they have a little bit of money, and then I heard now it's going to be moved over to the CW, which means
yeah, so
the
that's when
budget's
it's
going
going
to
to start getting budget's going to go down. It's going to start getting PC, and all the characters are going to change into some sort of what they're not in the comic books.
Yeah, like the guy who plays the Icicle, he's really good in that part. I like his scenes with what's her name?
Humanizing him. That's interesting, right? Like they're taking a cold, calculated villain that just murdered a kid, and they're humanizing him. It's like, damn, this is.
Yeah.
We're supposed to hate him, but you're now trying to make us relate to him. It's weird. Good writing, though.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens with the second season if that continues on, But if they got the lower budgets, some of the actors are not going to stay.
Why not? The actors getting paid. I don't know. They could go anywhere with that. Depends what happens at the end of the season, because they got so many freaking characters and that they're trying to build up and they're hinting to, and that's already been introduced. We're waiting for a final showdown. ASA versus the ISA Injustice Society rematch, but with the new guys.
Yeah, you're going to have some of the kids being fighting as villains. And look at that one with the Brainwave Jr., the one that
In the comics, he was a hero. That's
Yeah.
all I.
So maybe
However they play it on this show, who knows?
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if they made him a hero, like in the comic books, you know?
That would make sense, because how else is he going to beat his dad when his dad wakes up from the coma?
Yeah.
So that's one powerful character.
Well, he's going to find out all these people have been using him to find out he's got powers. Like, well, he's already found out that his ex-girlfriend, I guess it's his ex-girlfriend, what's her name?
Shiv or Shiva or yeah, we know who.
Yeah, and you know, because he's probably read her mind before she got dragged down into the sewers, and so he knows he's being played for, and he also knows Stargirl's identity.
Yeah, but he's like a whiny guy, right? He's got all this stuff, and he's like running around. Oh my gosh, my head hurts. I can't handle it. Ah, like, dude, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's the kind of hero you're going to be. Well, then definitely it's Stargirl show, because you need babysitting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's how he plays it.
Maybe he'll change it when he develops his powers. You know, we got a question here. Yeah. So you're working on a Goldberg cosplay?
Who's next? Ah. Yeah, that was my Goldberg one.
Oh, you're okay.
Gotta do some more push-ups.
Yeah. Well,
Amazing Reed. He's a fantastic person. He's a level 7th wizard, as he calls himself. He's a magician. I interviewed him, and he started doing magic tricks, virtual magic tricks, and like I picked out a card, and I told him what it was, and he from his side just like boom shuffled it, and boom, it was.
Wow.
He created magic. Blew my mind.
Psychic.
He's good.
Is he that good? If you drop him off at a party, he won't ask you what time you're going to pick him up?
He's not a psychic. He's a magician.
Oh, a magician. Okay. Yeah, that's different, right?
He did come to my 50th Doctor birthday Evil Steve Vil bash, and he entertained the crowds. Him and they just started entertaining people around. And I mean, just watching the looks on people's faces as he's entertaining them was amazing, because their eyes are all captivated like a little kid, like kind of like I was when he showed me magic on screen. It was amazing. He's one hell of a talented person.
I'll have to
he's
come
definitely
back.
someone you might want.
Yeah, ring him on or something like that. Yeah.
How's that for a a promo there?
Or a plug?
Reed, Graham, good. Did I do good?
So you used. We'll go back to comic books here. What you collected for a long time, the old American stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. I was into mostly DC Comics. I liked superhero teams. I was like a big Justice League fan, especially when Prez took over. I was a Titans fan when the Titans first came out. Thanks, Goldberg. You're next, Graham. I'm not sure if Goldberg ever does, but whatever. As a big superhero team fan, the Titans were great. All-Star Squadron I enjoyed. Justice League, of course, I mentioned that. I loved the annual team-ups, Justice League, Justice Society, when they did all that fun stuff. Infinity Incorporated, when it first came out, Todd McFarlane's early work, but he never got recognized for that, so he left for Spider-Man and just did his own thing. Yeah, those were my big ones. I really enjoyed. Now I would go back and I'd pick up trade paperbacks. Some of the latest stuff I've picked up is there's a couple of really good DC things I picked up within the last decade. Identity Crisis, fantastic story. Mm-hmm. You know about that one? It's where elongated man's wife Sue Dimmy gets murdered.
Oh yeah.
And that whole story is solid. It is amazing. They made the villains like Deathstroke a badass again. They pulled him out of obscurity. And Forever Evil was a great storyline where Justice League was all disappeared, and Luthor and the bad guys had to team up to take down the Earth 3's Justice League, or the evil version of them. That was a great storyline as well.
I used to get into Teen Titans. I actually own a George Perez page of a Teen Titan with Deathstroke in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Trez did a cool sketch for me, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I got a couple of my cousin's artworks over here on the wall. 2 John Byrne pages. Marvel 2-in-1 with Thundra. And the other one is a Fantastic Four page with the thing on the Beyonder world.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Speaking of John Byrne, well, because of the Titans and the Titans X-Men team up, I kind of started reading the X-Men so I could know what's going on with them for the team up, and I became an X-Men fan until they started publishing like books, like 7 different books of the X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, blah blah blah, and every single character was a mutant. Then it kind of got oversaturated. Lost interest after that, but they had some really good early stories. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, I think the '80s had the best stories, comic books. I started collecting when I was 7. Used to get my cousin in Newfoundland used to collect comics, and I think that's probably what got me reading comics. So I got into the Marvels. I think I had some DCs, but in the '70s I got right into Marvel books when the Hulk came on TV, Spider-Man came on TV. I'm like, oh, I got to go out and get these books.
We don't talk about that Spider-Man show.
No, but it did.
Nicholas Hammond.
Yeah. Actually, he wasn't too bad as Peter Parker. It would have been better.
The special effects were just terrible. On screen, someone would throw a net. You go, psst, throw a net.
But did you see that? Did you see that post they put up on Facebook, Steve? With that they had this camera that was built for the guy who was the stunt actor for Spider-Man, and he had this helmet on. It would look like a pro camera on his head. It was a huge, and it had a bunch of cameras here on the sides. So when you seen him climbing the wall and you seen his hands, that was the camera right on his head that were shooting that. It was a new technology that they came out in the '70s. But I didn't know that. That thing must have weighed a ton if they were actually pulling him up the wall, because I think they had piano wires or something, and they were using to pull him up. But then I heard stories that they did like a flat wall on a floor, and they had him climb. Kind of like they did with Batman, because I think Batman was done on a floor, and all the guests would be underneath the stage floor and open up the doors, so it looked like they were actually walking up the wall. The old Adam West ones, they had strings on the capes, so it looked like the capes were being pulled by gravity.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. I looked back on YouTube and found a lot of the old episodes, and when they filmed him walking on the ceiling, they just like kind of turned the camera upside down, and then they like edit it later, and you see the guy standing there looking at him. But I'd be like, well, I just take a broom and start poking the freaking spider, like.
Yeah, and get some raid. And get some raid.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were fun. They did what they could with that budget and that whatever they could think of.
Yeah, they didn't have very much of a budget for that show. The costume looked kind of cool. The eyes on them, like you could see the mirrors. It didn't resemble Spider-Man at all. There was Aunt May there. There was no Uncle Ben. There was no reason for him to become Spider-Man, except to fight for that weird, creepy guy that was hypnotizing people to kill themselves.
Right, of course. That happens all the time.
Yeah, it does that in every comic book,
Oh, come on. Just like the 1970s Shazam, where, him and where Billy Batson and some old guy is, hanging out in a little camper. Like, that's creepy enough. Just going on road trips with the superpowers of a god. He's like, telling people not to speed or stuff. Like, really? Okay, sure.
And there's always lessons at the end of the episodes saying that you should be good and do this,
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm going to go back into the cabin with the old dude.
Yeah. In a way, there was some of it I did like. You know, I always got excited when he went out into the field and called out Shazam, and you could hear that echo and um, the transformation was cartoony looking, but it at the time, they didn't have that much money for special effects either. So
Yeah, you know what? Because of lack of special effects is the reason Superman flies.
yep,
You know about that? The Flesher cartoons. It's because at that time Superman couldn't fly. All he could do was like leap, like just jump, kind of like the Hulk does, right? Just jumps
yep,
from one place to another. But because Flesher Studios like trying to animate, they go, you know what? It'll be a lot easier if we just had the guy fly instead of like drawing him jumping down all the time. So they did that. Next thing you know, Superman can fly, all because a bunch of lazy people.
yep. And
Now,
wasn't Captain Marvel the first one to fly before they start doing that at all?
I'm not sure.
We're talking about the original Captain Marvel, not the Brie Larson Captain Marvel.
Oh no, that never even entered my thought. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a superhero and I'm going to be an icon to girls.
I'm gonna steal your
This
jacket.
before. Stuff like that just happens organically. You just don't go announcing, I'm going to be a hero and role model to you. Really? Obviously, you sound like a douchebag already.
Yep. And it wasn't made
saying
for it wasn't made for white 40-year-old men.
No,
Or something
actually,
like that.
Captain Marvel it was a movie she did previously. It starred Reese Witherspoon, Oprah Winfrey, and some other people.
It was A Wrinkle in Time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was A Wrinkle in Time. That was not made for 40-year-old white dudes, and that's fine. I will never see it because thank you, Brie. But also,
Yeah.
You kind of are alienating some of your audience, but I'm smart enough to know that she was only talking about that movie. So I went to see Captain Marvel, because superhero movie, I'm going to see it no matter what. I enjoyed it. I did. It's not one of the better ones. It's not one of the worst ones. It's an enjoyable movie. Her acting, though, or the story.
Well, there was nothing in the story really. She stole some guy's jacket, some motorcycle guy's jacket. It's like the Terminator thing. What kind of a hero is that takes a guy's jacket and his motorcycle?
Well, apparently a guy saying smile is really offensive.
Yeah.
No. See, this is me. This is me smiling. You're more likely to come to talk to me when I smile, not my resting bitchy face, right? More approachable.
Yeah.
That being said, if you wanted to justify her taking the guy's jacket, because he seemed like a very fucking respectable guy, right? He goes, hey, what's going on? Because she's reading a map, so he wants to help her out.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, right? And just tells her to smile, and then she's like, I'll shake your hand, right? And then she attacks him. She freaking crushes it, and then she like takes his jacket. She threatens him. She's the villain in that one. Now, had the guy like hit on her and she said no, and then he put his hand on her body, boom, that would have all been justified and would have been cool. But right now, she was the villain in that one. She's just a freaking bully.
Yeah.
And sorry, whoever directed that, you don't get it, okay?
And she can fly too. Why does she need a motorcycle? Right?
Never thought that. Okay, because it looks cool. It's like you're trying to get the Tom Cruise thing.
Yeah. I only watched the movie once, and I just walked out and said I'm disappointed. I was disappointed with Nick Fury.
Angry Fury.
My tongue is not working. My tongue is not working this morning or this afternoon. But anyway, I'm like, he got it that way through a cat, and I'm like,
close. He trusted someone too close.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, they did what they did.
Yeah.
But in Captain Marvel, they had a couple scenes that were cut out, which, well, after watching them, going, if they left that in the movie, it would have made us more sympathetic to the character.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They just had her coming in with all these powers and not really much explaining what's happening. So she's got no story arc, right? She's got no reason to rebel against her creators. But one of the cut scenes is like she walks into a classroom when her the guy she sparred with was teaching about it, and she comes in and says, yeah, I thank the Kree because they saved me from the Skrulls from attacking me, and they gave me this little chip to give me powers, and I owe them my life, right? That was cut out of the movie. But had you left that in, it would have been more understandable for the character, and you would have sympathized with her more. But this way, there's like, yeah, why is she doing this? She's just a like hothead, dumbass, jerk cop and wants to go around beating people up for no reason.
Yeah.
And there's no like story arc. Even when she supposedly gets part of her memory back, there's like, it's like she predicted COVID before it happened. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna touch you, even though you're my friend forever. She was like emotionless. I'm sorry. The only emotion she had was anger.
Yeah.
And when people said, we can relate to her because everyone tells us women, don't show emotion. Okay, well, Yoda kind of did that to Luke Skywalker too. Okay, control your emotion. That's a way. If you think properly, then you can get things done. But if you get angry and stuff, then blah. So it's not just about like a woman thing. If someone keeps telling you to control your emotion, chances are you're over emotional. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like I said, also happened Luke Skywalker, every freaking training video where they tell a guy control your emotions and you'll be able to fight properly. That doesn't happen just to you women. Just because it happens, I'm sorry to take away your exclusivity, but no. It's training. Yaren, Dr. Steve Vil Goldberg, my Jewish relative wrestler. Oy vey! Who's next? Speaking of Jewish, I'm watching a series now called The Hunters, where in the 70s, Al Pacino and all these other guys go around hunting for Jewish war criminals. It's pretty cool. They've embellished the acts that these Nazis did, but I guess they're like creating like superheroes and supervillains because it's interesting. So the people that created this have a really warped mind, similar to the Nazis back then, even more so. Mm-hmm. But it's still nice to watch. It's kind of like hero versus villain, bad guy in the 70s. It's kind of cool. And me being from Poland, my dad was over there when the Nazis came in, and he was captured and forced to work on farms and stuff, forced labor. So yeah, that hits me, even though I'm not Jewish. I'm just a Pole. It's like, boy, but I should be angry at Germans all the time, shouldn't I? Because what happened in the past, or should I just move on?
Yeah. I think just to move on. Best to move on, right?
Yeah. Well, back in NATO, I got along with a lot of the Germans. It was funny. They had these T-shirts that they created while they were there, because we had a T-shirt making shop, and a new officer came in, German officer, and he banned them. He said they're no longer allowed to wear them. And what the shirt said was, Afghanistan, Grandpa, we made it further east than you did. As a Pole, I find that hilarious, but that's me.
Yeah.
What? You don't get it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Have I thrown you off your track? What?
No, I'm not throwing me off my track. No.
So what does William Byrne take out comics mean? Like, what you take out comics is like take out food?
Well,
you send comics to people?
Yeah. Well, I thought I used to have when I published Max Burger, it used to be called Graphic Image. So and then Image came along, Image Comics, and I go, I probably can't use Graphic Image anymore.
Why? Because you can use Graphic Image.
Yeah, well, it might associate with Image and stuff like that. So I thought, if I call another company, take out comics.
Isn't that a good thing?
And I'm doing, it's a hamburger. So if I'm doing Max Burger, it's take out comics.
Oh, gotcha. So
yeah.
It's a hamburger that solves crime.
Yeah, Max Burger solves crimes. Yeah.
But what if somebody finds him delicious and decides to eat him?
Yeah, he'll fight him off.
Okay.
But the one he's got, the big boy you got to worry about is that loose shadow. See that loose shadow at the bottom of your picture there with the claws?
Yeah. Looks scary.
Well, that's a Mad Burger. That's the one that'll eat you. He's a man-eating hamburger. He's half hamburger, half cyborg, and lives in the sewers. See, Max Burger was born from a microwave explosion 17 years ago, but he thought he was the one and only mutant hamburger. But there was another hamburger that was put in the microwave with him when he was born. And this other one can't survive in daylight. He can only come out at night. And the only way he can survive is to eat toxic products or people.
So I could see the vegetarians, supporting him because he'll go out and eat like, oh, that guy's eating burgers. All right, at night, you give him the address, you go over and just tax them and eat them, right?
Yeah.
He's like part of PETA or whatever the vegan, whatever that is. That'd be cool.
Sure. Yeah. He's got teeth and everything in his mouth, like sharp, kind of like Venom kind of thing. Those kind of teeth.
Wow, that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I freaked out, man. I was going to go to Burger King later, but not so much now.
No. Just you wrecked your appetite, didn't it?
I'm going to stop microwaving things now. It's just going to go all in the oven.
Yeah. Well, it should be still safe to microwave. Just don't spill any pop on it. That's what caused the accident. So.
What kind of pop?
I don't know. It's like soda pop,
I know, but
probably Pepsi or Coke, Coke is dangerous,
And then he'd be fighting people like the Canadian Shield.
Yeah. Or the North Shield.
Or Shield, that's it, right?
Yeah, the North Shield.
Yeah, you tried to create a superhero comic book called North Shield that I was like, I supported you a few times on Kickstarter, but never got off.
It never reached the goal. No, I'm starting to do another book with another artist. Here's some artwork from him.
Ooh, is that Iron Man?
Hey?
Nah, I'm messing with you.
No,
that's cool.
This guy from Kitchener doing it. With Tyler Domusky, I think his last name is.
He's like Polish or Russian or what? This is like.
I'm not sure what Tyler, what nationality is. I just met him about 4 or 5 years ago. I used to do a thing called a drink and draw, and
drink and draw.
Yeah, so we'd sit down and we'd meet at some place like O'Brien's down in Kitchener or something, and there would be about 4 or 5 hours. We bring our sketchbooks and we just doodle. And
I can see your doodle.
Yeah, and then we called it SIP. We moved it to the Williams, and we called it Draw and SIP or something like that. And then we disbanded. It got down to like 2 or 3 of us, and everybody just went off on their own. And I just decided I couldn't come back from Cambridge to Kitchener all the time, and it was tiring. So we just disbanded for a while. And now with the COVID
like a good idea. Bunch of artists coming over, drink, draw, come up with ideas, pitch forth things back and forth.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. You got to see what they were working on, what you're working on, and tell stories and have some fun.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, but it just people start dropping off. They just couldn't make the time to come out and stuff like that. So
other engagements like real life getting in the way, right?
Yeah. So, but if the COVID ever lifts up, we get some kind of normalcy back. I'll probably start it up again, somewhere else, maybe the Kitchener Library or something.
Ooh, Kitchener's got a library.
Yeah, we have they have a library there. The only thing is having it at Williams, they close kind of early, and one guy couldn't make it out. He could only spend half an hour there. He wanted to spend some more time. So
get there earlier.
Yeah, and he couldn't because of work. So if I move it to the library doesn't close till like 9:30 or something like that, 9:30, 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. I'd rather probably have it on a Friday because if I'm working during the week, and going to the gym. If the gym ever opens up again, I don't think it's ever going to open up.
Nothing's going to happen in 2020. I've kind of written 2020 off. So
Yeah.
anyone that's like going, oh, I can't wait for this con, or yeah, you know what? If it comes on, it's bonus. But I've kind of written everything off this year.
Yeah, and
That's the way it is.
And it might even go on to next year too. I hope not.
Probably stop after the elections, but I didn't say that.
I do like the Kitchener Comic Con. I go out there once. Ron asks me out, and I've gone out to Richard's Tri-City Con. I didn't see that many people when I went out on the Saturday. Usually I take the Saturday ones to go out,
Yeah, Richard had an unfortunate time when he did it a couple of years ago. He did it on a long weekend. So a lot of people, like Thanksgiving weekend, people are going to be at home with their families and whatnot, and also on Oktoberfest weekend. So any extra people they could get are too busy getting drunk over there.
Yep.
And because that was like a bad timing, the year after, people are going, "How was the one before?" And then they heard about it because of bad timing. So everyone's afraid of something new until they find out afterwards, oh my God, it was great. Oh, well, I should have been there. Well, yeah, if you guys were all there, it would have been successful. But if you're sitting there waiting for someone else to go, it's not going to happen.
No, you got to get out and go to it,
People want to jump on the bandwagon and find out, okay, if it's successful, go next year. Well, how about you go this year and make it successful? Maybe that could help, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me.
It's like with anything, even Kickstarters and stuff like that, books and stuff, because people look at it and go, well, I don't know if I'll buy that book because I don't know if it'll be that good. Maybe I'll wait for the next one to come out, But then the next one can't come out because the person who's trying to raise the money can't, he needs it for that first book to get the second one going too,
So you're going to do another one for this, for the Canadian Shield or North Shield? Or are you going to go a different route?
Well, I'm releasing Max Burger first. Max Burger is coming first. Everything's done for the Max Burger. There's 43 pages of Max Burger. I've got to add a couple of extra fill-ins, like some sketch pages
like
or
mustard and ketchup and.
Well, I might. Well, yeah, I gotta have to put some filling in, but I might do a Dave Sim thing. You ever seen Dave Sim's books? He had one with text. He had old text in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to do something like that, maybe.
I thought you said for Dave Sim to go hide in seclusion and not be heard from anyone for years.
But, yeah. Well, I see Dave. I see Dave every once in a while in Kitchener.
Okay, he's a Kitchener guy.
Yeah.
He's never come out to any of the cons.
No, he just. I know Ron was trying to get him out for the Kitchener Comic Con. He won't come out to any cons. He just.
Why?
Well, there's I think they call him like what are they? They call him hateful for women and stuff like that, and he's
misogynist.
Yeah.
All right, well then don't allow women to see him. Just have a bunch of guys hang out. Kind of like when I went to church. The priest only want to talk to his boys.
Yeah. Just put a curtain around him.
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think someone accused him of being misogynist once, and he's just like, dude, it's not you. Just get on with it. Nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Anyone that hates you will just just avoid you, or they should just avoid you and whatever. But that's him. That's on him.
Yeah, Dave's a half decent guy. I talk to him once in a while. He comes into Williams once in a while, and we talk a bit. He can't draw anymore because.
Why?
He's got that wrist problem, with the
carpal tunnel.
Yeah, because he's drawing.
Sorry.
But apparently, what I heard, he doesn't draw that much anyway. He draws the figures in the background, and in Gerhard, if he's drawing it, like Gerhard told me at Richard's con, he says, all Dave does is draw a line across the page and says, "This is a table." And Gerhard has to embellish it. Yeah. He'll put everything else in the background.
Gerhard is a fantastic artist and human being. Him and his wife, they're both fantastic. I enjoy seeing them every time I go to events.
Yeah, I run into him I run into him a few times here in town in Cambridge because that's where they live. So um, she's really nice. Gerhard's really nice, you know. And I used to run into Gerhard in Kitchener when I had my Max Burger going, and I had a P.O. box down there because they had the P.O. box in the same building that I had it in. So I would run into Gerhard he was coming out as I was going in to check on my mail.
So you're stalking him.
Well, I think he was stalking me, you know.
Okay, yeah, fair.
He'd get there before me, see, you know. So that's, you know, I think that's what it is, you know.
He's fanning. It's like, oh my God, it's William Byrne. He created Max Burger. I can't wait to meet him again. I ran into him, honey. Oh my gosh, it's great. Probably. I get that all the time.
Yeah. Well, you get mistaken for Dr. Evil all the time, right? You know.
Pretty well, yeah. You know.
Yeah. Well.
Except Mike Myers made him look like a, buffling buffoon. You know, when I get out there, everyone thinks I'm like comical and whimsical and funny, but I'm just really trying to be mean. But they don't see it that way. Thanks, Mike. Jerk.
So you've watched all.
Beard, right?
Yeah.
To be angrier.
So you've seen all 3 movies. Which one is your favorite Austin Power movie?
I don't know, man. It's either 1 or 2. The first one is great. You can't go wrong with that. The second one, they just upped the level, which is rare with sequels. Because when they added Mini-Me, that just freaking made the movie. Third one was okay. It had its moments, but it didn't live up to the other 2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Some people might think it is the best, and that's good for you. You can think that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the third just didn't live up. But it did have its great moments, like when the opening credits, when Tom Cruise came out as Austin Powers, and and Kevin Spacey as Dr. Evil, and Danny DeVito as Mini-Me. That was just amazing.
Now, has Mike Myers seen your impression of Dr. Evil?
Probably not, no.
No?
No, Vern Troyer's seen it, and he enjoys it. I mean, we get along, or we used to get along until he passed away. Mindy Sterling's seen it, but she wanted nothing to do with it. Because she's, I think she's going through the I'm not Frau phase. Similar to, like, when Spock and Leonard Nimoy did the I'm not Spock phase. Like, hey, I'm not Spock, you know. I think she's going through that, which is unfortunate because, you know, it was great meeting her. Very personable lady. But she didn't want to do anything with the Dr. Evil thing. That's fair, I guess. Not for me. It kind of broke my heart, and I went, into start crying in the shower, like, for 2 weeks. Couldn't get out. But that's okay. She ruined my life. That's fine too. But she's a great person. No, I don't think I'm too far below the radar for Mike to even notice. I'm sure he's got a lot of people pretending to be frickin' Austin Powers and seen all that stuff.
Yeah, there's probably other cosplayers out there, but you seem to be the one that seems to stand out more than the rest. I don't think I've seen anybody else. I've seen people doing Austin Powers.
Everyone does Austin Powers, and the grandma.
Yeah. Well, there was somebody at the Kitchener Comic Con. It was a woman dressed up as Austin Powers, and she had like
Becca.
Is it Rebecca? Is her name? Has I seen her go?
She's the naked Austin Powers, right? With the hairy chest.
Yeah, the hairy chest. Yeah.
Yeah, she does a great version. She does the dancing, and because of her and who she is, she got a whole lot of cosplayers around Southern Ontario to all dress up in an Austin Power theme for a photo shoot in Fan Expo. I've been Dr. Evil for 30 freaking years, and Noob wanted to freaking do a fembot. But as soon as she does it, Austin Powers does it, everybody freaking gets dressed up. We had freaking number 2s, we had, with number 2s, we had fembots, we had freaking Scotty. They had, Shane O'Brien, or the murdering guy with the freaking leprechauns. Everyone, the whole cast was there because they like Austin. So yeah, that's why I don't freaking like Austin. Okay, I was a star of all 3 freaking movies. Do I get credit? No.
You were the star, yeah, of the 3 movies.
Right? He was just there to, I don't know. If it wasn't for me, it would just be a movie of him going around shagging everything that moved. Seriously. Austin Powers. I saw your friend Austin Powers. Go to hell. Not my freaking friend, okay? See, I even got my own T-shirt. Grab one. Oh wait, it's right there. This thing's backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always hard to tell where the point. It's always hard to where to point with the cameras, you know?
Oh, especially this one, man. It's just totally confusing. Because in the mirror, you're used to like, wait, it's opposite world.
Yeah.
Like
Do you
I
think
go
there's
to take something that's on this side, but then I have to come over here. I'm going to point at you. I got to point the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Naturally, I'd be pointing this way, and it's like, oh,
See?
wrong way.
See, I did it that time. You know?
Yeah.
So you think there's going to be a Austin Powers 4?
It would be nice. Then I'd be relevant again. But other than that, with the death of Aaron Troyer, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess Mindy Sterling needs work, so maybe she'd be in for it.
Apparently, they were talking about an animated series for Austin Powers.
Animated would be cool. Hopefully, it's cast over here. If I find out, I'll audition. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you could do the voice. Yeah.
Be my only claim to fame ever.
Because when they do cartoons, they never use the actors like Ghostbusters. They never use Bill Murray or any of the guys. Well, I heard Ernie Hudson wanted to do the voice of his character for the cartoon. They wouldn't give it to him.
He didn't sound like himself. What?
I don't know. It went to. Did it go? Who did it go to? It went to Arsenio Hall.
Oh. It could have been a political thing. Arsenio was big at that time.
Yeah, well, he had his own talk show and stuff like that. I used to watch that all the time.
I guess he had more draw power at the time, but if you look back now, Ernie Hudson's the one that's got more draw power.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't have used him.
There's a character that did Constantine, Matt Ryan. Now, he's the only one actor that's done Constantine, well, except for, Keanu Reeves in the movie. But he's the only one that's done the voice of him in all the animated series and all the TV shows. So good for him.
I think he's the best Constantine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he looks the part. Like Keanu Reeves does not look like the character at all.
Yeah, but for movies they go with big budget people. I'm not sure they go over I'm not sure how the deal is. Whether they all Harvey Weinstein together or something. I don't know. Because we've got some really decent actors that do stuff on television, but then when they go to the movies, instead of using them, they just go with big name actors. Like Kevin Costner to play Jonathan Kent. Now, I would have gone with John Schneider. Why? Because John Schneider's proven himself in Smallville that, he can do that character well, and he'd be a lovely to have on a Superman movie. But Kevin Costner's like, no, we're just going to go with a big name.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, when you get Jonathan Kent or Pa Kent telling you, don't save people, that's wrong, okay? That's not what Superman is. If you wanted someone like that, then you're going to have something like Brightburn. Ever see that movie?
No.
It's where the alien kid, it's almost like Superman, but he goes bad. It's kind of like a horror movie.
Okay. Yeah, I heard of it, but I didn't go and see it, so.
Brightburn is like based on a town, almost like Smallville, right? It's called Brightburn. So that's where this character, his origins happen. And he's kind of picked on a lot. And so instead of going good and having decent parents, he's got parents that are kind of opposite. So he goes the evil way. I'd watch, and it's a dark take on Superman.
We'll have to look for that one and check it out.
Oh, for sure.
But back to Man of Steel. I didn't like that one either too much.
No, because you had emo Superman.
Yeah.
I got powers, and what do I do with it? Should I save the world? I don't know. And he's watching TV as Clark Kent, and he's like, look, there's a girl. She's in a building. She's about to die. And, the Superman that we all know is like, boom. Clark, where are you? He's like, oh, everybody thinks something should be done. Maybe I should do something about it. Meanwhile, she's probably already roasting. Like, no, man.
Yeah. Well, look at Smallville. Clark in Smallville, he'd go out and save anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just it. Except he was too annoying. He was too freaking annoying. It's like, I do everything the right way, except the rules don't count to me, for me, because I'm super. Yeah, Clark's he's a bit of a jerk in the show. I kind of sympathize with Lex a bit more because he had a lot of bad things happening to him. He kept trying to overcome, you know.
Maybe they found the good guy
But,
too boring, and Lex was more better to be that good guy who eventually became evil. Because you could see Lex was trying to be good in the beginning of Smallville, and he progressed.
yeah, of
You could
course.
see him slipping away.
And with the thing with Clark, he was brought up correctly, which is good, but he can stand on those laurels and his virtual signaling all the time because he's got superpowers. And if anyone did anything to him, it wouldn't matter because he's always going to come on top. He's already stronger than everybody. So, you know,
Yeah.
so he's got that. But Luthor's like, well, if I don't do this, then I've got consequences. With Clark, there never really was many consequences because he could like go out and save everybody all the time. Right? Or, you know, he can't be threatened because, you know, it's like, yeah, are you going to threaten me with what? You going to hit me or shoot me? Go ahead.
Yeah. Unless they shoot him with kryptonite.
No, oh, I'm dying. Yeah. Get over it.
There's blood.
Right?
Yeah, look at that scene in the Superman 2 movie where he got beat up. And he got real wimpy.
Superman 3.
No, that was Superman 2. Where he got beat up in the diner. He just had fun with Lois and then came back from the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh, that's right.
He had that special night with her. Yeah, and he had no powers. And he started bleeding. Then he got all sucky and went back to the fortress to get his powers back.
Yeah, all because he wanted to get laid.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Good for you, Soups.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Steve, I'm going to let you. We're going to call an end to this broadcast. Thank you for coming on. Do you have a website or anything people can contact you or anything like that, or?
I prefer people don't contact me. I hate everybody.
Okay.
No, just go to YouTube. Dr. or Steve Vil. Just go there and contact me if you want me to, hire me for any like sort of evil work or taking over the world and whatnot. I'm okay. I'll collaborate with ideas. We're good with that.
Yeah. Any parades or anything like that, you're welcome to that, right?
Sure. Yep. Doc's in, But right now I'm cosplaying for Goldberg, as Graham said.
All right. Well, thank you, Steve. And everybody, thank you for. Yeah. And thank you for
everyone. How many people watching? I can't see.
We have 5 likes here. We've got 2 people watching right now. I don't know who's watching. It's just 2 people on my Facebook page. We head up to 5 watching. Attention span of certain things, people don't seem to stay on. So.
No, unless you're talking about something really cool at the right time they're watching, then no.
Yeah. So, Steve, I'm going to end
Sunday
this.
afternoon.
Yeah. So let me end this.
COVID.
Yeah. And let me end this, and we'll chat a bit after. Okay.
For sure.
Oh, we jumped up to 4.
Hi, 4 people.
See you, 4 people. See you later. Take care.